Did you know that your next trip across the border, maybe to catch a hockey game or visit family, could become significantly more complicated? That seemingly innocuous act of crossing into the United States, a routine for so many Canadians, is currently under a magnifying glass, and the stakes are rising. We're talking about potential new tariffs, economic consequences, and a heightened sense of uncertainty, all stemming from a very specific demand: the strengthening of border security. This isn't just another political headline. It's a direct consequence of a long-standing trade relationship now teetering on a precarious balance. Canada and the United States share the world's longest undefended border, a symbol of decades of cooperation and mutual benefit. But the current climate, with its emphasis on national security and economic protectionism, is testing the very foundations of this partnership. The threat of tariffs, essentially taxes on imported goods, looms large, ready to impact everything from the price of your groceries to the viability of Canadian businesses that rely on American markets. The central issue revolves around the perception, or perhaps the assertion, that Canada isn't doing enough to safeguard the border, particularly when it comes to preventing the flow of drugs, illegal weapons, and potential threats to national security. This viewpoint has been voiced by prominent figures, and it's now driving a push for increased surveillance, tighter controls, and, potentially, a reevaluation of the existing border agreements. What does all this really mean for Canadians? It means a closer look at the infrastructure, the technology, and the personnel that manage this vast expanse of land. It means considering the economic repercussions of trade disruptions, as well as the potential impact on travel and tourism. We're not just talking about a few extra questions at the border crossing. We're looking at a complex interplay of politics, economics, and security, all interwoven into a single, high-stakes negotiation. This is a story with multiple layers, involving historical agreements, current political realities, and future projections. We're going to dive deep, exploring the origins of this situation, the specific demands being made, and the potential consequences for both countries. We'll unpack the arguments on both sides, consider the potential outcomes, and examine the broader implications for Canadians and their relationship with the United States. This isn't just about tariffs and border crossings. It's about understanding the forces that shape our world and the choices we make in response. Mais qui a mené exactement à cette situation tendue? Pour comprendre pleinement, il faut remonter à la genèse de l'accord Canada-États-Unis-Mexique, ACEUM, remplaçant l'ALENA. Cet accord commercial, bien que maintenu, a semé un certain malaise. Les renégociations ont révélé des divergences, notamment sur les questions de l'accès au marché et des règles d'origine. C'est dans ce contexte que les préoccupations américaines concernant la sécurité frontalière ont pris de l'ampleur. Building on this, cependant, on doit reconnaître que les États-Unis ont toujours eu une approche plus rigoureuse en matière de sécurité, surtout depuis les attentats du 11 septembre. Le Canada, bien que partageant des objectifs similaires, a souvent privilégié une approche plus collaborative et axée sur la facilitation des échanges commerciaux. Cette différence de perspective est fondamentale et crée un terrain fertile pour les malentendus et les tensions. Another crucial layer is the economic impact. The threat of tariffs isn't just a political maneuver, it's a weapon with significant consequences. Pensez aux industries canadiennes, telles que celles de l'automobile, du bois d'œuvre ou des produits agricoles, qui dépendent fortement des exportations vers les États-Unis. Des tarifs élevés rendraient leurs produits moins compétitifs, entraînant des pertes d'emplois, une baisse des revenus et des difficultés économiques majeures. De plus, cela pourrait déclencher des représailles canadiennes, affectant les entreprises américaines et intensifiant ainsi le conflit commercial. Now, consider how this applies when you face the daily economic realities. Le prix de votre épicerie, le coût de votre prochain voyage ou la valeur de vos investissements pourraient tous être impactés. Le gouvernement canadien, bien sûr, a des options. Il peut négocier, contester les tarifs devant l'OMC ou même prendre des mesures de rétorsion. Chacune de ces stratégies comporte des risques et des avantages, et le choix dépendra de l'évolution de la situation et des priorités du gouvernement. Consequently, cette situation n'est pas seulement une question de frontières et de commerce. C'est une question de souveraineté, de sécurité nationale et de relations internationales. C'est un test pour la diplomatie canadienne, qui devra naviguer dans des eaux troubles tout en protégeant les intérêts du pays. Le défi est de trouver un équilibre entre la nécessité de rassurer les États-Unis sur la sécurité et la nécessité de préserver les relations commerciales et la prospérité économique du Canada. In navigating these complex currents, we've charted a course through the evolving landscape of North American relations, a territory marked by both deep-seated alliances and the shifting sands of political and economic realities. We've witnessed how the very notion of a shared border, once a symbol of mutual understanding, has become a focal point of contention, a pressure point where divergent priorities collide. The echoes of past agreements, the seismic shifts in global security paradigms, and the intricate dance of international trade have all contributed to the current state of affairs, a delicate interplay of interests and ambitions. The situation, it seems, is akin to a tightly wound spring, compressed by competing forces. Each turn of the screw, each pronouncement, each policy decision adds further tension, potentially releasing a cascade of consequences that could reshape the very fabric of our cross-border interactions. The economic underpinnings of this relationship, the arteries that carry the lifeblood of commerce, are now subject to scrutiny, to the potential for disruption. The implications resonate far beyond the immediate concerns of border security, touching upon the everyday lives of Canadians and their ability to engage with the world. Reflecting on this journey so far, it becomes increasingly apparent that the narrative transcends mere headlines. It is a story of evolving power dynamics, of the persistent tension between national interests and global cooperation. It underscores the vulnerabilities inherent in interconnected systems and the delicate balance required to maintain stability in a world of rapid change. The decisions being made today will undoubtedly shape the future, not just of trade and security, but of the very nature of the relationship between Canada and the United States. As we pivot towards the final reflection, let us consider the broader implications. This is a moment that demands careful consideration, a time to assess the potential impacts and to understand the forces at play. We've examined the historical context, the economic pressures, and the political machinations. Now, the questions that remain are about the future, about what is possible, and about what we choose to build. The shadow of potential tariffs, the echoes of border security concerns. These are not merely headlines. They are the tangible manifestations of a shifting world order, a reality where long-held alliances are tested and the dynamics of power are constantly being redefined. We've journeyed through the historical context, the economic stakes, and the political maneuvers, and it's clear that this situation isn't just about the movement of goods or the scrutiny of travelers. It's about the very essence of a relationship, a bond forged in decades of collaboration, now facing unprecedented pressures. This isn't a problem to be solved. It is a situation to be understood. The true gravity of the current state of affairs lies in the way it forces us to reevaluate our assumptions about the world, about our neighbors, and about the very nature of security. It compels us to consider the cost of protectionism, the fragility of interdependence, and the delicate balance required to navigate a world where national interests often clash. The implications extend far beyond trade agreements and customs protocols. They reach into the heart of our shared future. Consider the implications for Canadians, for our sense of identity, and for our place on the global stage. We are a nation built on the principles of openness, of collaboration, and of mutual respect. The current circumstances challenge those very values, forcing us to confront the complexities of living next to a powerful neighbor, a neighbor whose priorities may not always align with our own. It's a test of our resilience, our diplomacy, and our ability to safeguard our interests while upholding the values that define us. The true practice begins now. It begins with a critical awareness, a willingness to engage with the complexities of the situation, and a commitment to informed dialogue. It demands that we remain vigilant, that we hold our leaders accountable, and that we continue to advocate for a future where collaboration and mutual respect prevail. It requires that we cultivate a deeper understanding of the forces that shape our world and the choices we make in response. This isn't just about tariffs or border crossings, it's about shaping our future. The path ahead is not always clear, but the importance of our choices is undeniable. Let us approach it with wisdom, with foresight, and with an unwavering commitment to the values that make us Canadian. Let us not only observe the changes around us, but actively participate in shaping the narrative for the generations that will follow.